Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Elephant in the Room. My name is Brandon, and today I'm going to be talking about some different meditation, anxiety techniques to help you guys just really stay rebalanced and to stay centered. And I just want to start off by saying that people are going to be in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Now, this includes that dumb ex, those difficult teachers, the teachers that you love, the people that your first racist encounter, all of the above. Now, how you handle those situations is going to be what matters the most, especially when it comes to the information that you guys receive from this channel and the information that I'm going to be presenting to you. I know that it's going to be very controversial at times. Sometimes it's going to really question the things that you guys have thought about or have experienced in your life. And some people are going to get angry, some people are going to be upset, some people are going to be sad, disappointed even. But it's really how you handle these situations, and not just with me but with just everybody, because I'm not going to be the only one that's going to be giving you challenging experiences throughout your life, or I hope not. So when you think about all those different emotions, I mean, we've all experienced like those, especially when it comes to negative emotions like depression. You felt like it's just never going to end, but it will, and there are different things that you can do to actually make those times be or seem way smaller than they really are. Okay, and have a lot less emotional or a lot less energetic impact than they normally have. All right. So before I get into all that stuff, I really want to ask you guys once again to support the channel by liking, subscribing if you guys haven't already. Share the content. You know how it goes. So many people that I've taught these different techniques to in the past have been under the impression that meditation is just one type, and it's just that where you just sit there, you relax, you don't think of anything, you're extremely still, and that's not necessarily the case in all. That is one form of meditation, but that's not the only form of meditation. Um, that's actually quite an advanced technique, and just like how you have to learn to walk before you sorry, you have to learn to crawl before you walk, and you have to learn to walk before you run. The same thing has to do with meditation. So I just want to share with you a few of the different meditation techniques that I use on a daily basis. And I know that they're going to be a lot simpler and a lot easier for people to use because they do a lot of these. Actually, everybody does these meditations on their own, and they don't even realize that they're doing an active meditation. So I'm going to be teaching you some techniques that you can really just put into your daily life and just use all the time. So one of the first forms of active meditation is actually a listening meditation. And the easiest way you can actually do that is just by going outside, just sitting outside, just listening to the sounds and everything that's around you. Very simple, you can actually do it inside. You can do it anywhere, but I like to do it outside because there's the wind, there's the animals, there's a lot of different sounds that are coming around, there's the cars. Um, a lot of people like to think that, oh, you have to have that perfect, tranquil environment where you just hear nature and you can be smooth. It does not have to be like that. You can meditate where you are at any point. With listening, you can just listen anywhere because you're always listening. So just being aware, just closing your eyes and just trying to figure out where the different sounds are coming from, pinpoint it. Is that a little animal? Is that the wind breeze? Is that the leaves? That's a really important part of that, just trying to really just stay present and staying aware of the situation, and the thoughts that are coming to you. That's really the most important part of just being meditating in general. So a more difficult part of the listening meditation is something that we all have difficulty with, is just listening to other people when they're talking to you, and that has a lot to do with being mindful and really being present. And when you really think about it, when you are mindful when people are speaking to you, it really shows a whole new level of respect and care and understanding for that person, which they're going to feel and receive as well. And this is even more impactful when you're dealing with somebody that you care about and love, especially when you're debating those loved ones. So just being present and listening when somebody is talking to you, like a boss or a colleague or that loved one, like I was saying, it's just listening to them and being aware and listening to each and every different word that they're saying. And when they're done speaking, in that moment, you pause and you just process it and you digest it, and then you give them a well thought response. because when you take that time out to really think about what you want to say to somebody, it really shows them that you're really caring and you're really listening. When you're arguing with someone, and you're just doing this, I mean, especially when you're arguing with somebody and you're sitting there and you just can't wait for them to stop talking, and you over talk, and you speak louder and you yell at them and stuff like that. That's never gonna get you anywhere. And a lot of times we will like pause and I listen to what you're saying. Will listen to me. You weren't even listening. You were just trying to act like you were being polite, and you were just like you already were thinking of a million different things and of what you were going to say in response to what they were saying. When if you were to just listen to what they were saying, you would be able to have a different sort of understanding of what they're saying and be more compassionate to what they're feeling and how they're trying to portray what they're saying, to put yourself in more in their shoes, especially when you're arguing with somebody and you have a difference of opinion. Now, something that I do want to add into that as well, especially when you're doing those active listening meditations when you're outside, and even when I'm going to be getting into the next one, which is the visual meditation, is breathing. Breathing is really, really, really important to meditation and just staying calm and staying stress free. They're always talking about breath work when you're doing things like fighting or MMA or track or running, anything, exercising in general. They talk about breath work and breath control and just really controlling your breath. And you know that when you could get out of breath and you're like, your heart is just out of whack, so the same works in reversal. So when you're breathing, just making sure that you control your breath and you're counting it. The fourfold breath is something that's really prominent about and around many different meditation techniques, and that's just counting to four in four different steps. So that's breathing in for 4 counts, holding it for 4 counts, out for 4 counts, and then holding for 4 counts, and then once again. So in four, hold four, out four, hold four, in four, hold four, out four, hold four. You get it? So that's really important to do. And a lot of people get really dizzy with those kind of things, and it's just not matching their body. Everything is just, you do things that are comfortable for you. And we're all unique individuals. We're all unique beings. We all do things differently. So some people are going to be doing the two-fold count. In two, hold two, out two, hold two. You can switch it for however works best for you. So you can do two full count, you can do 3, 4, 5, whatever works best for you in the moment that you work for. But it is best to try to stay consistent. So now leading into the visual exercise and the visual meditation, just I like to once again do it outside. You can do this inside if you want to. You can do it anywhere once again. So you just go outside and you take what I do. I like to go outside, look at the fence or a tree, and just look at one individual spot. Just hone into that individual spot. Just digest it, dissect it. Really just pick it apart and just try to look into every little nook and cranny of that thing that you're looking at, like the tree bark, like all those little squares and those wrinkles that it has, and then once you're like finished processing that, just look at something else and process that too, and just digest that, and then once you do that, then come back and look back at that first original thing and just try to remember every little detail that you had digested about it the first time, and see if you can find anything new, and go back and do it again. So you kind of go back and forth, and it's almost like a game of memory, and just once again, this is about being present and just being mindful about what you're doing. It's not about just being like, ooh, that is a different form of being mindful, and being present is where and being able to clear your mind and being able to process that out. But this is how you build up to that point. So we've gone through the listening meditation, the visual meditation. Once again, those are different forms of active meditation. You can look up active meditations as well. Another one that I can go over with you guys is eating meditation, and that's the taste. And when you're eating something, just to really slow it down and to just feel all the different textures and spices and seasonings and flavors that's going on inside your mouth when you're eating some food, and just slowly just understanding and being present in those flavors, and just really finding out like what's going on inside, and just because there's so many different external factors that really affect our energy, that we don't really pay attention to the things that are going on inside. And your mind is the thing that really controls all of those aspects, and really understanding how to manage your emotions and manage your feelings is really going to help how to manage your brain and your mind, because your heart and your brain really have a lot of the same kind of memories and muscles. Your heart has like different kind of brain muscles and brain fragments and synapses and all that stuff too. I mean, I can go into that at a whole different times, but learning how to really manage your emotions will help you with understanding and how to manage your brain, and in in turn you'll be able to really just be able to act efficiently and to do things with a different kind of impact or energy, I guess you can say. So now this kind of goes into more of a reflection type of thing, and a lot of people just don't know how to deal with a lot of the things that they're being faced with. Especially when it comes to white privilege and like white guilt and like white fragility. There's so many different racial tensions that are going on right now that it can be intense. It can be insane. Um, and I know in the black community, like the moment you can think a little bit differently, you can be looked at a certain way. But now a lot of attention is coming into the white community and how they're being portrayed. So um, one thing that I do want to open up to everybody, and how we deal with people and how we deal with our own emotions, and how we can actually just reflect on the impact and some of the things that we might be feeling guilty about in order to really move forward on things. Um, is is what I like to call looking at things through the eyes of the ordinary person, and what I like to do, this is extremely, extremely important, that you do not lie to yourself, and you are just extremely honest with yourself, and your feelings and the things that are going on, because it's so easy to lie to yourself and the situations, and we do it all the time. Be like, well, they shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have done this, and they deserve that because of it. Like, no, like when it comes to meditation and reflection, and to really, really move forward, you cannot lie to yourself about different things. Getting back to looking at things through the eyes of their ordinary person is, imagine if you had like a million, trillion, billion people in front of you that were all smart and of like mind and that were extremely intelligent, and they weren't going to be judging anything, and you can tell them the situation that you're in that's really causing you some troubles and causing you issues and making you feel some type of way, you know, and you ask them like what you should do. And basically, they're going to give you their honest feedback and they're going to give you their true feedback, but that will only work, once again, is if you're honest with yourself and you're able to really um, if you're in the wrong, to understand, I did this part that I don't really like, but this is why I did this, and to admit that maybe these things aren't right and this is why you did that, but to understand that, like, not to lie about these things, to be 100% honest with you, because that's the only way that these spiritual entities and these people, these entities can tell you what to do and give you good advice, you know and even though it comes from yourself or whatever, like that, the collective consciousness, if you want to get into a deeper sense, that only works, once again, is if you're honest with yourself and you're real with yourself. Now, another aspect of that is, a lot of the times when people try to meditate and to really just think about things and to breathe, once again, they start think like when they're trying to like wusa and to clear their mind, all these different random thoughts may come into their mind, and even when they're doing active and those active meditations, like visual meditations, stuff like that, try to, like, when you have the time in the moment, don't just brush those thoughts off. Don't look at those thoughts that come up as negative things, like, oh my gosh, I need to focus, like just understand why they're coming. So, like a way to look at it is, when you're dealing with different things, and like the fear of the media, especially, and the different anxieties that they give you. When you're starting to feel these kind of ways, and you're feeling stressed out and depressed or sad or whatever like that, just pause, close your eyes, and just try to hone in on those feelings that you're having, and try to understand where those feelings are coming from and why you're having them. Like when it comes to like anxieties, like, why am I really feeling this way? Why am I feeling this anxiety when it comes to this news that I'm seeing? Like, why? And to understand that, like, these feelings of anxiety are okay, because these situations that are causing these feelings of anxiety are anxious situations. They're extreme situations, but understand that, like, you can't allow yourself to to get so energetically involved in each one of these situations, because it's going to really wear you out. And to understand that these emotions and these feelings are natural as being a person, and they're okay, and to understand and just put them aside, so that way you can take the time to really build up that strength and actually work to fix these situations that are causing these so much stress, so that way you won't have these situations come up in the future. It's a different way of dealing with fight or flight, because your body is giving you these anxieties and these emotions to flight, to run away, but understanding that these are real, and just accepting them, you fight, because it's enough. It's enough. There's a time to fly and there's a time to fight. Right now, sometimes there's a time to fight, and right now is that time. When I talk about things in the elephant in the room, these are those times where you have to really sometimes to grab those emotions, and to really figure out like why you're really feeling this way, and to really take these as emotions and to understand why they're there, understand that they're okay to be, and to really put them aside so you can really deal with the situations and the problems at hand, because we got a lot of work to do. All right, so with that said, I feel like I gave you guys enough of different things to really think about and to work on. So if you guys want to hear a little bit more of different information, if you guys want to hear some, sorry about that. If you guys want to hear more information about different subjects, or want to hear more, I guess, intense meditations or more extreme things, or have more questions in general, just feel free to drop some comments down. All right. Once again, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, share the content if you like it, show that support. I appreciate you guys. One love.